Hello everyone, it is John, and today's video, why do I always stumble over this? I should have it off by heart by now, but I never do. It's always Mickey Mouse here. This game is called Citadel of Blood, Fantastic Adventure in the Fortress of Evil. And this was I'll try not to gesticulating on my tabletop here and the camera's jumping up and down. This was in the Ares magazine. It was one of those insert games that they had in every issue for, I think, 14 issues or something like that. I've got I don't have the magazines anymore. The magazines, sadly, I lost in a flood. But I still have all the inserts because John very wisely at the time stuck them all in plastic sleeves. So that's kept so many of my old insert games alive where they would have previously probably perished. But this is the game, which is Citadel of Blood. I like it. I know a number of other people still play it. They still like it. So let's get on to the rest of the video. Let me know if you've played it, what your thoughts are. And let's move on to the next part. Hello everyone, it's John, and today we are looking at one of the Ares Magazine's insert games called Citadel of Blood, which is really just a dungeon crawl. And, it's copyright 1980, so it's fairly old. It's interesting to see that another company has, I think, borrowed a lot of the theme and the concept, I think, with this. It's also hugely popular, which is 4 Against Darkness, because as you'll see as I continue to go along. But what you have is that you will get to choose. I'm looking at the solitaire mode at the moment. You would choose three characters and three initiates randomly as to what your party would consist of. Then you have your essentially your dungeon. So you've got a counter that represents your party. So rather than have all the counters stacked up to represent them, and you're going through the what is it? The Hellgate? Well, I'll tell you in a moment. I've got to turn the book over. No, Gateway of Evil. Sorry, Gateway of Evil. That's the Hellgate there. And what you have is that you've got all these delightful monsters that are going to be lurking around waiting for you. Then the crux of the game is these counters, and what you will do is that you will draw them randomly from a cup, and you will then place the counters down and move your way through. And of course there's the other side which you can use to encounter the whatever might be in the room. In this case it's furniture, I believe. So yeah, the rules are a whole, what's that, 2, 4, 8 pages. Oh dear, sorry, I do apologise for the flickering. And yeah, look, honestly, it is a very, very simple game to play. So it's nice in the fact that they've given you the counters on the front. So if you ever lose any of those ones there, at least you can essentially photocopy this particular page and sort of mass produce, if you like, additional. Obviously the characters will be an issue, as they've only given you an example of each, but certainly all the monsters have been placed there. And then it shows you the sample monster, it shows you the weapon, the combat bonus, and the dice you roll, and the number you add to the dice. So it is a fairly simple game. I'm trying not to get too much flicker, in other words I can't get too close. But it's a good game. So the sequence of play, you decide your route, you pick a chit, and then you place it. And oh dear, what is wrong with the... I do apologise. I've done this video a few times now, and I'm going to have to just live with the fact that every now and again you're going to get a bit of blur. But all nicely ordered. Everything, of course, must actually be done in the sequence of the game turn. So there's no sort of bypassing certain sections or doing things out of order. Then you've got the section that covers the movement through the Citadel, and that gives an in-depth explanation of how the chits are placed. And then you have monsters, negotiations, and bribery. If anybody's played For Against Darkness, you'll know that that particular thing floats into there. Then you have the combat, which I quite like in the fact that it's fairly well laid out where you place your character chits and where you place the monsters and carry on with the combat. Magic, yep, fairly standard. You've got resistance checks. You've got gaining experience. So again, like that other game, For Against Darkness, yes, it sits there. You then have the room features. So you've got things for fountains, what you'll find in fountains, what you'll find within statues, trapdoors, altars, etc. And then it has the treasures. Very, very simple. Oh, here we go again. Very simple. And quite a lot of fun for the time. And then you've got your character sheet up there. You've got the heroes. And your phase of the moon, or the phase of the moon and sun. I can't remember what that specifically is. But you roll a dice. There's three rows on the magic point section, and on a 1 to 2 you take the left, 3 to 4 it's the centre, 5 to 6 it's the right. So you always have a random. There's no guarantee of essentially what sort of magic you're going to have. Then you've got levelling charts, you've got the monster characteristics, you've got the room monster table which you'd roll on when you go in to see what it is encounter wise, and then there's wandering monsters. The bribery section's quite simple. And then you've got the combat results. So what can I say? Treasure table, again, similar to incorporation in the other game that I've talked about, which I quite like, but now that I've seen this again, I'm now finding where I guess the inspiration for Against Darkness came from. Of course, I could be very wrong, and if I'm wrong, people, please please point out. This is just my opinion, having looked at this and having played, I guess, For Against Darkness quite a bit. And the similarities, they're not exact, but the similarities that you can see between Citadel of Blood and what For Against Darkness is, I think you may very well agree with me. Anyway, look, that is Citadel of Blood, an Ares Magazine insert game and produced by SPI. So till next time, signing off, the Honourable John.